definitely.
So we're supposed to say, hello, everybody. Welcome to Noncustodial Live with Zach and Alicia.
That is what we're saying. Hello. Hey, Zach Martin here. Welcome to Noncustodial's Live. I'm live today with my co-host, Alicia. Alicia, how are you today?
I've had a rough one, but I am good now.
Well,
I've
I'm sorry
had
you had a rough one.
technical problems all day long. All day long.
If it ain't one thing, it's another, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
besides that, our guest had to
Sick.
reschedule. But that's
Yep.
okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Hey, you roll with the punches, right? That's how it goes
Yeah.
sometimes.
Maybe
So,
maybe we'll have a surprise guest later on. Who knows?
I always like surprise guests. I always like surprise guests. One of the things we want to talk about today, and we're really excited about, is all the things we have coming up right now. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about what Alicia wants to talk about. Um, TikTok and
What
Noncustodials Live, our Facebook
what
page.
did I want to talk about? What
The Noncustodials Live. We appreciate everybody that comes on here and watches this stuff, and we're on a couple of different pages right now. AFESP and Tough and Kids Deserve Dads. We're on a YouTube channel with a couple people. But getting other people to actually follow other pages and like them and see them is something that helps to move this forward. And Alicia runs the Non-Custodial Live pages on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and
Why
Facebook.
do you say it's me? It's not just me.
Well, I do come up with a couple posts. All right, Alicia and I run this thing, but she does all the magic, and she's getting this brand new Rodecaster Pro 2 hand delivered to her on Sunday,
I thought it
maybe
was Monday.
Saturday. It might.
Okay.
We have a blizzard coming in here, so we're leaving
Oh
early.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
winter. But anyways, one of the things we really would love is to have support around going and liking those pages. So if you can go to Non-Custodials Live on Facebook or on TikTok and like those pages, TikTok also with Kids Deserve Dads. I'm pretty sure Tough has a TikTok page. Go on there and like those pages. Helps us move it forward, get it out to more people, and that's really important. While I'm talking about getting out there and liking it, we have a bracket coming out tomorrow. Alicia, did you get in the bracket?
Wait, you were going way too fast.
Well, welcome to my world. Did you get
Okay.
in on the
So
basketball bracket that Tough
wait,
is doing?
wait. Time out. Time out. What what Zach was just trying to say was there is a Kids Deserve Dads TikTok page. You need to go over there. Make sure you follow Kids Deserve Dads on TikTok because the more platforms, obviously, like Zach was saying, the more of a positive impact and the more of a message that can go through. And plus, if we get to 10,000 followers on TikTok, when we stream, like we're streaming right now, to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., we can also stream to TikTok at the same time. So it's really important. Yes, I have a silly TikTok page also. You can go follow that. But the non-custodial live page on Facebook also, that's very important that you hop on there. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to clarify that because you were going so fast.
I'm a fast talker. I usually try to slow down, and I'm using my slow voice. You remember they had the Micro Machine guy like when we were kids?
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
remember
talk
that.
like that, dude.
Yeah, you do.
Um,
You do.
so that's really good, and I'm glad you got that out there. Go like those pages and help us spread this message. But also go and do some of the events we have coming up. On Tough right now, Ryan put together a pretty epic
Bracket.
basketball bracket, and
Yeah.
everybody is free. And everybody in this movement, we're asking everybody to get into this bracket. Go on there, pick out your teams. It's a chance to come and harass everybody else that's in this movement and give us a hard time and hopefully win. I picked Gonzaga to win it all.
What's he giving? $50?
$50, yeah.
See,
And it's a free bracket and everything, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's
paid
when I was on there
brackets are
earlier.
What about paid
57
bracket?
people were. He does have a paid bracket also, and you can do a paid bracket. I want to say his paid bracket is $10, and I don't know all the details. The one that I do know is a free one, and I will also attach that link inside of here, um, and have it so everybody can see that link. But go on there and do the bracket. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I know there's quite a few people that are in the movement in this bracket right now, and there should be some interesting, you know, talking going on between the people. So,
Is that the
love to
only
have.
bracket you're participating in?
Right now, it's the only one. Although I do really like that, so I will probably get other brackets and stuff. But I will be honest, I watched zero games of basketball this winter.
That's okay.
I don't even know any. I know that UNC is really good, and te- Tennessee's winning because Ryan keeps wearing his Tennessee stuff, and so I know that. I know that
I think he
he's.
just wears his Tennessee stuff no matter what.
That might be true too. That is also true. But they are definitely winning this year, and they got a strong chance. Chuck
Chuck
Dizzle says
says
he's in
free,
three.
free
I think that's
brackets.
great.
Sweet.
Also, donate some stars, and Alicia will drink her beer. So if you want to see Alicia drink her beer, donate some stars.
Pretty sure you can't talk about that on Facebook, but we're going back to
it's,
that. And
it's it's written on there. I don't. Hey, if we can't talk about it,
that's the ticker.
I won't talk about it next time.
Zach, you
um,
never did your burpees either.
you know what? I should do my burpees. We should get together with that
We're
maybe
not going to
tomorrow.
do those right now, though.
Not tonight. Not tonight. So,
That'll be
um,
funny though.
one of the things we were talking about, want to talk about tonight was the events. One of the things we did with Kids Deserve Dads when we first started doing that was a lot of events. We were doing almost an event every single month, month and a half, where we were hosting um, ice skating days and car shows and laser tag nights and basketball games and football games where dads and kids could go for free and enjoy a good time and celebrate. And we had a banquet that wasn't free, and fishing days and camping days. And we got away from that when coronavirus hit. And so one of the things that was, it was really
Stupid
big to us,
coronavirus.
coronavirus. And so coronavirus hit,
Now we're going to get
and
flagged. This
I
live's
know.
just going to get taken down. You shouldn't
Oh,
even say
oh,
anything.
so I just start over again. Um, that all the events went away, and we stopped doing them. We didn't do them. Where I moved away to a different town, to Rapid City, where my son lives and where I live currently, and it was really a interesting time. And so they all kind of fell apart, and we didn't put them back together. Um, but my intention is to bring them all back. Now that I'm here in Rapid City, I've taken the bar exam. I anticipate that I passed, and there is no more 60 hours a week of studying for the bar exam, that I will get to do other things that I am called to do here in my community, and be a larger part. And so one of those things is bringing back these events that I did. And I'm gonna actually get on the show one of my good friends, Jesse West, because man, he did some epic events in Illinois, Springfield, and I watched him doing these things, and I was like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to bring more of. And so I'm going to be working with him and bringing this stuff back, because it's such a positive opportunity for these dads and these kids to get together and do things that these families wouldn't do. For basketball games and a football game, we had a guy that had 5 kids. Chuck Dizzle, you can relate to that, right? 6 kids. Um,
Chuck has
and with
six
those,
kids.
yeah, 6 kids, man, six
Oh,
kids.
nice.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
tied, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You are tied. Trying to set a record. Who's going to
Fit
win
to
this
be
one?
tied. That's what
I
we
want to.
are.
I want to know who's going to win. So, tiebreaker.
Fit to be tied.
First to score wins. The congratulations, Daniel. Um, I think that it was doing all the events and stuff, and so it was really making a big difference. We were having these events, and I had a family of guys that were there was 5 kids, and taking 5 kids to a football game or a basketball game at the University of Wyoming. We're talking about just for the tickets, three
A
hundred
lot.
dollars. You
Yeah,
know,
that's a lot.
and who has that kind of, everybody's on here that's watching us right now, who has an extra $500 lying around, to go do a football game in a year, right? And most people don't have an extra $500. And this guy didn't have extra $500. And him and his boys got to come out there and enjoy these games. And we had an amazing time. And actually, we have a totally epic picture that I will post. At the basketball game, they were having this picture taken and stuff with the whole entire group, and one of their brothers were they're arguing and stuff, and we got a picture of one of the brothers actually slapping the brother in the face in the photo. It was like that's the motley crew that we're hanging out with, right? And this kid's just gets his brother, and you can see it in the picture. He's like, oh, it was a perfect. It's in the group photo. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's great. This kid and his brother are having it out, and it was all caught on camera. So,
That's good stuff. That's a good
it
stuff.
was, yeah, and so I could have those kind of moments, and they went away, and I'm really excited about bringing them back,
Yeah.
and so we have. I just posted about the first one just a few minutes ago on Kids Deserve Dads, and this is going to
Are you
be.
going to consider changing the entire name of the organization?
I have thought about that.
Oh, to like KIDDS.
Yeah, good and decent, and
We could
any
put like
other
52
adjective
different,
that's
just any
positive
other
adjectives only.
acronym,
Yeah,
right?
only
Yeah.
positive ones. Yeah, like
I think that's
we'll just
kind of
throw like
just it's a given.
47 letters. Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, nobody wants anybody to be not decent, right? We want to have the best that they can be, and I think part of
That's right.
what Kids Deserve Dads is about is helping dads see their best potential
Mm-hmm.
and being their best selves. How do you
Yeah.
show up? How do you show up for yourself and for your kids and help them have the life they want to have? And that's been really a big focus in my life. That's how I've been working on raising my son, and it's how I reflect and visualize what I'm going to do. And
I hope you
most
realize I
people,
was joking.
I totally know. I saw the comment, but
Sorry.
I think that most dads are just fine, and most moms are just fine. Like most people are just doing the best they possibly can and getting through with the day,
Right.
and enjoying being there and wanting to have that impact, wanting to get to sit on the couch and cuddle with their kids and do it on a weeknight. Like it's a school night, and hey, we all had a long day. Let's eat some food. Let's chill on the couch.
Chill
Let's watch
out.
a show. Let's
Yeah.
brush our teeth and go to bed. And we can read a book, and it can be a school night. And there's something really powerful and magical about that opportunity. Like it's something that really means a lot to me. Every time I get my son on a school night and I get to get him up and take him to school, we have great conversations and great connection times and stuff. And it's something that I absolutely cherish. And I think that every mom and dad should have that opportunity, unless you're abusing your kids, like physically abusing your kids, molesting them, those kind of things. Like if you're doing really bad stuff, if you're doing drugs, you that's a reason not to be with your kids all the time. But that
Yeah.
most of us are out here just doing it and
Mm.
and making it happen, and that should be celebrated, and it shouldn't be a pissing contest. So um, my
I,
piece
I,
clearer than yours.
I, I know. You were you were talking about events coming up. I just I kind of want to roll with the comments here a little bit because we are getting some good comments. And Charles says,
Put it up there.
Charles, do you want to? I
Yeah.
wish my kids had a decent and good mother. Why did I think that said father? I
Well,
don't know
I
why.
think I
Either
think I
way,
think that
yeah, we do want to
it's all the
talk
same.
about that. That's
I mean,
fine
we
to
wish
talk
that.
about.
I wish that there's crappy moms just like there's crappy dads.
There
There's
is.
there are people who make poor choices all the time in this world, and we're surrounded by them. And sometimes they may make good choices for their lives, and then also they change their approach and they make bad choices. Um, and hopefully, when they learn to make good choices again, and they get back on it, that they get they get I didn't read his comment, but it's got to be good. That they get to have the grace to be able to be back into the life that they want to have. So that they don't just lose everything. But when they start figuring it back out, that we have grace, we support them in being more involved, because there's lessons to be learned from people who have gone through addiction and done all these things, who have made poor choices, or who are assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something about.
Kids deserve two fit, loving parents.
Yeah.
That's what we that's what we support. But
Hmm. Yes.
you're not going to read that comment. I
Which
love it.
one? I'm gonna call my
I'm going to
group.
call my group. Wish my ex wasn't a narcissist. There I bet if you look it up, there is one that is called exactly that
I
already.
I I would
But
love to see it. I bet there is, and it's got like 47 million followers. They make a
that
ton of money.
probably I
They
just
post 100 times a day, and it's women being narcissists and men being narcissists, and
yeah.
they just like blast it. And there's so much
Yeah.
content about narcissism; it's everywhere.
It is. And
It's like,
everybody has narcissistic tendencies, right? But I
well, yeah.
think the word is, I don't know. I feel like it's getting a little bit, it's used
So
loosely these days, don't you think?
47 million
You
men in
know?
that group. Yeah, right. And like
See,
100
he
million
already
women.
found
The
it.
largest group. It's the
It
largest group in the
exists.
whole entire world.
It's already there.
Yeah, yeah. Like creators like Mr. Beast and stuff are only trying to catch up to. Uh, wish my
A
narcissist ex
narcissist
wasn't.
now.
Yeah, Mr. Beast, you messed up, bro. You were doing so good, so good. You just got the wrong demographic. You need to be
Okay,
targeting narcissists or
keep
those who are
reading for
affected
one
by them.
second, Zach. You gotta go up through those comments again. Just give me 1 second.
I don't know. So we have that event, the Father's Day event's coming up. We are going to do the world record water gun fight here in Rapid City, South Dakota. And the intention is to do it every single year. And I think about even doing other events just like that in other places. And one of the beautiful things about it that I'm excited about is that this is a family centric event. So it's dads, kids, moms. Let's get out there. Let's have the whole business. Bring grandmas, bring the aunts, bring the uncles. They're probably moms and dads too, and the kids of them. And let's get everybody out there. Have this epic water gun fight in the park in Rapid City. The record right now is 3,875, set by Stanford University in 2013. And we are going to beat that bad boy this year. So, 4,000 people and more. I got confirmation today from the state fairgrounds that we could host it there. And they were super gracious, gave us whatever space we wanted for free if it's outside, which is June in Rapid City, so it should be nice, and we should have a great time getting out there and really getting this water fight on. So we're going to have live music. I think we already got an electric vehicle. I'll know tomorrow being donated to power our speakers. You can
What?
run sound systems off of an electric vehicle. I was told
Is that what we're
that's
doing?
true. That's what's going to happen.
That- That's what's gonna happen. Okay. Sorry, I had to step away. There was children
They'll be, but
running around.
unlike your kids, unlike your kids, the trucks will be silent. So,
Jeez. I
so
shouldn't
it will be
complain. I'm so
no,
blessed.
no, you're blessed. They are wild, wild animals you got running
It's just
around that
distracting.
zoo. So,
Just distracting.
so I saw that zoo, and then the other one we're going to do this spring is our Father's Bike to School Day, and that is going to be the Thursday after Mother's Day, which here in Rapid City is the last week of school, and I would guess probably most everywhere the last week of school, the week before Memorial Day. It's the last day of school, I think, or the day before the last day of school. But
Yeah.
here in South Dakota, thanks to Tom Pischke, my friend, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Great man and leader in this movement, and wrote this bill to get it so dads got to have their kids every Wednesday night during the school year. And so every Wednesday night they get their kids. Thursday is the day that they go to school, and dads here in South Dakota get to take their kids to school every Thursday. And so I will get to take my son, and we're gonna be riding bikes. We're gonna have a um, coffee truck at the school. Gonna get the radio and TV down there, and make it a pretty big event. And it's gonna be a big thing every year. We're gonna do it at the beginning and the end. And the intention is to grow this and do them all over the place. Start a movement that kids bike to school with their dads on the last Thursday of school every single year, and we can get them all over the whole entire country and get these set up. And so my intention is to really start putting a group together. So if you're interested in doing something like that, if you want to be part of this, um, let's put together this whole entire thing, and let's get all these dads and kids biking to school across the country. Let's do 100 of them. So I'm looking for people that are interested in doing that. If you're interested in being involved in that, let me know, and let's get together and strategize. I'm Zach Martin. My own personal page, Kids Deserve Dads. You can reach me probably
I'm
actually.
Zach Martin.
wherever you're watching this at, you can find me. I am available and around. So, uh, anyways,
Hold on,
but I'd love to have some people working on
I,
with me. It's it's
I'm
great.
listening to you. But
Have you
guess
ridden
what?
your bikes to school with your kids, Alicia?
No, because I've always lived very rurally, I guess you could say. I've always lived pretty like 5 miles from, you know, a paved road, really, at least.
Okay,
Now I probably could actually, where my two younger ones will be going to school, but the other ones, they're
too
older.
old.
They're in, junior high now and go to school
That's not
across
cool.
town because that's what they wanted. So I'm gonna just while we're talking, I am gonna put us live on TikTok real quick,
Do it
just because um I don't have earbuds or any other sound thing hooked up right now, so we can hear you and it'll
around.
be cool.
I can I can hear you.
Well, I
So
know, but
yeah,
TikTok
do
will be
it.
able to hear you instead
Oh,
of
nice.
just, I don't know why I didn't think about that.
That's okay. Hey,
Whatever.
you know what?
It's
We're
fine.
we're all learning. We're all learning and growing on this. And
Such a learning curve. It's
yeah,
cray.
yeah. I hear Daniel said something about wanting to help out and stuff too. So I'd be all open for doing stuff for homeschooling. And I know a lot of homeschoolers have a school that they like that they can go to, right? That's a thing? At least I've heard that you can go to a school and play sports or do activities that the school is putting on. Maybe even like
Yeah,
go to
you
the
can
music program and stuff, and you can get involved in all of the things that the public school has, but also be
be
doing
homeschool.
it at home. I
Yeah.
I want to homeschool. Homeschooling sounds like the best, Daniel. I'm looking forward to talking to you about that because I will never get to have my son
So
homeschooled, but I totally believe it would be the best thing for him and for us. So
I
I'm all,
homeschooled for kindergarten.
yeah. How was that?
I tell you what, I thought I was so awesome.
Uh-huh.
It was hard.
Yeah.
So God
What was
bless
hard about it?
everybody that just, keeping a routine, keeping your kids motivated, it's it's difficult. It's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So hats off to everybody that does that is what I'm saying
Yeah. No,
because
I agree.
I think it's
I think it's,
wonderful. I think more people should, but
I agree.
I'm not
I agree.
optimist.
Claudia, you know what? I have not considered doing that one, but I am totally open to it. I'm gonna write that down. I think
What?
Kane's law and how it impact shared parenting sounds like an interesting topic and something
What is
that probably a lot of people would like to know about and should know about,
what is
and
that?
I also should know about more. That's a good question. I have heard about it and I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm writing it down. So, but I would definitely be open to that and doing some research um, and finding out. So I'll do some
Does she
research
want to come on
and
live and tell us about it?
you want to come on live and talk about it? We could do that too. So let's see.
I'm mostly joking, but I mean that's
Uh,
really just out of the blue, but we could do that.
all right. I, Bryant actually put out a question. He said, "Is there a specific topic for tonight?" And we did not have a specific
No, are you
topic.
just
Topic.
what we had a guest, but
We
they
had a
had to
guest. They
reschedule.
mhm. And so we're talking about some of the events we have going on, kind of things we have happening with kids as their dads and non-custodials, and that's where we're at tonight on what we're doing, and answering questions. So, anyways, but what is your? You said you had a question, and that you
I'm
want to put it
looking.
out there. So put it out there, and we'll go over it, man, and it'll be fun. So, hi, Brian. I have not heard of any state. What are you laughing about? I have not, Kenny. I have not heard of any states doing a debit card. Actually, I do know they give a debit card, right? But not that they track it.
No,
So,
they
like
don't.
my son's mom has a
She
credit
has
card, has a debit card.
okay. Okay, well, I don't know if Wyoming does that. I've only been a payer, and well, what? No, I take that back. You're right. Yeah, Wyoming does have a debit card.
Oh, I guess they do. Yeah, they gotta make that money for their private businesses too. It's really not even about like the states making money. Wyoming's part of this group that is actually ran by a for-profit business that runs the child support collection system. Did you know that?
Ooh, what's it called?
Young and Williams, I think it is. Young and Williams from Arkansas.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I am right. I know. And
I remember now.
I think they run like 37 states or something like that.
Something like
And they
that.
collect
Yeah, it's too many.
they make a shit ton of money off of collecting child support. And this is a big business. And so the lawyer that runs the Title 4D, I should not be talking about this on air,
Do
but I'm
it.
gonna. The lady that
Do it.
runs the Title 4D in the state of Wyoming for child support services, when she has her business cards and stuff, her emails say that she works for this company, that she's associated with.
Hmm.
She's a Title 4D person for this company.
Right.
And they go out there and she's in charge of making sure she maximizes the money for this business. So it's crazy.
But
Yeah.
so
And so we have
the
and they
payer
can
should have
spend their money.
access to those. I personally believe the payer should have access to those transactions. The statement.
I, I think that would be a great decision and stuff. I don't know that necessarily really even matters though, because whether they spend, if they're getting their nails done, they're getting their nails done, right? If they're blowing their money on
At least you
something,
know. You
right?
can't
But
say like you can't do that, but at least you know.
yeah, I would, that's true. But I mean, I don't know. I would use a different card for other stuff. If it was me, I would just like, well, I have my card that I use for the things that I do, so that I don't gotta get nobody giving me a hard time.
Yeah, don't
And
be
um,
wasting
and
rabbit.
and and for the most part, you could use that card just for basics every time, anyways. Like I don't give, most people don't give. Well, I don't know. $1,000 now is not that much money anymore, and a lot of people give thousands of dollars every month to for child support.
Right.
And so that, you could definitely have that be way more than, and it would be way more than, if you gave somebody $10,000, it'd be way more than your house and your food and stuff would likely be. I mean, food's a pretty set cost. God, I would love to get on, Stephen Bakersville, from California, University of California. He wrote a
What's
book
that?
about child support. He does a child support calculation, and he has a whole different calculation than what we actually use in all the states, because it takes away a lot of the extra money that's extracted from the payer. But so he writes this plan, and basically, food costs X amount of dollars. Like you're going to spend this amount on food, and this is what food costs to feed everybody. And there's
Right.
an exact cost, and that most people have a two-bedroom house because
Like
it's
per
not
head
that
per
much
household
more.
type thing.
Right? It's not that much more for a two-bedroom house than it is for a one-bedroom house,
Yeah.
and so we're making this assessment that everybody has to have this extra bedroom, like a third bedroom now that you have a kid, because you need to have an office space in your house. And he has this whole calculation of how in his book, and how in a couple of videos he's done on YouTube, on how the system actually goes out there, and uh, there's a better way to collect child support, which would be lower than what it is, but more appropriately distributing the amount of funds that is necessary to take care of and raise a kid.
Right.
And anyways, he's a really great economist, and his book is really interesting. So, um,
Maybe we'll have to
but
do a
let's see.
Canvas that.
I would love to doing it.
What
Let's see.
is
So Brian
Daniel
says,
talking about with power?
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Brian said, my
I
6-year-old
think he's
son's
just
mother has Apple AirTags that I've discovered when I have him, and no doubt
what?
she will be have monitoring devices on his phone and computer whenever he starts using them, so that
Where is
she
that
can
at?
see our private conversations. It's a text by Bryant. Has anyone experienced this, and what can be done? I'm in Michigan. There's a guy named John Nichols in Michigan, and he's a cool dude,
Yeah.
a really nice guy. I always recommend talking to John. I like talking to John, and he's extremely knowledgeable. And if John can't get you the answer, he will find somebody who will. And that's where I would go to in Michigan. And every state's different. Um, and
What? Okay, so what would you do?
what would I do if she did that to me?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So let's
Well,
just
I
think of
mean,
this
it's even like
practically.
something like, what if they had like those little kid watches, right? They have that watch that they can wear that has like their tracking device on it all the time, and it can be a phone.
How many kids
and
have
video.
Apple Watches now or iPhones?
Everybody,
I mean,
everybody. Yeah,
right. So,
they're everywhere. And what do you get off of that information? You just get location of where you're at.
yeah, and
I
so
mean, should anybody be doing that? No, no one should be doing
no.
that. It's not necessary. I mean, it may be necessary in very, very like specific instances
It's
of
a
something,
full
but maybe somebody
invasion
already
of
ran off.
privacy.
But totally an invasion of
What
privacy
would you
and unnecessary.
what would you do?
And
What would you do?
I mean, what
Hypothetical
can you do?
situation. What would you do
I would make
if
a
you found
comment to
them?
him about it. I would, I
And
would,
then what?
I would, I would say something to her about it, and I would say that what are you looking for? Let's have an open conversation about what's actually happening here. And there's absolutely zero reason that you should be tagging our son. Like he's with me, he is
Hmm.
safe. If he's not, if he's hurt or anything else, I will call you. But there's absolutely no good reason that you would need to track where he is at with me at all times. I
Right.
am a capable, focused, and loving father, and I'm right here with him all the time. He's not going out of my sight and out of my area, and I have rules and boundaries, and I maintain them. And if you don't believe that, then you need to get a grip.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that part. I leave the grip part out. I mean, I would think a lot worse. I had a lot worse things to say, but I think that just trying to be really honest and upfront about it, and because and really, if she does it, there's nothing you can do about it besides like take him off and set him somewhere. Um,
So you
and
just leave them at the house, then they're gonna be like, "You guys, you stayed home the
right,
entire
you got
time."
we stayed home the
They
entire
told me
time.
you were. You
Yeah,
didn't even go anywhere.
I
He,
just I
they didn't even
what a,
move.
right. We didn't. They didn't even. They never moved one time in
You
that
have like
house.
tied up.
Right in the front coat closet. Hey, a second, that's the coat closet. I've been in there. I know where that's
Right?
at in the house.
Oh
Okay, so the coat
shit.
closet. Then you get
Weird.
then you get child support services being called on you. You got DFS knocking on your door like, hello, it says your kids are in the coat closet for 2 days.
So personal experience with that,
Yeah.
and a lot of other people probably have had this personal experience, but maybe you purchase your child a cell phone, maybe it was fine at one point between both parents, whatever, and then somehow eventually, whether it be because of an app or like billing or, Verizon, AT&T, Apple, they all have, kind of they have tracking things just like you were saying. And so then all of a sudden the child can't have those things because instead of just a normal communication device for between households, it becomes this tracking thing. And so one parent or the other doesn't want them to have it, right?
Hmm.
So and that's with a cell phone. Or just like you were
Yes.
talking about the little smartwatches.
It's the same
Which
thing, right?
those little smartwatches, as far as for like a kid, I mean, I think with those they gain a little bit, some semblance of independence, and you can like feel more confident about where they're going or what they're doing, you know. But anyway, some people don't like them. Some people don't like
Right.
them at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see what you would get out of it for the most part. Unless you're going somewhere you shouldn't be going. But if you're going somewhere normal, if you're doing a normal thing, what are you going to even get out of a tracker? And and most of the devices are going to be tracked anyways. Once they turn, like you said, your son's 6. Once he turns 10, they got a cell
He has
phone,
a phone.
and
Yeah.
once they got a phone, I mean, you're not like, hey, you're at my house, give me your phone. You're going to have a pissed off kid. It's going to be like,
Well,
I don't,
that's
yeah,
okay,
and
personal experience. If it's something like that, it's like
yeah,
there's a lot of parents that are like, well, okay, you don't need access to this now. If you need a phone, you can use mine. I'll keep this because they think in that crazy way. Like, and that's not even what most people are about. But
right,
back to the original question, I'd leave them. I
yeah,
mean, address it and then just fine if you want. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know, total invasion of privacy, but at the same time, it's like, what am I doing that anybody would care, you know?
Right. And I put up a comment by Bonus Blessing, and thanks for commenting, but that, um, yeah, it's illegal, but like most of the stuff they do when they're doing these kind of things is illegal. They're doing, withholding visitation, those kind of things. Those are all illegal. They're not
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
And when you go to court and you take this as a contempt to court, what's the judge going to do? Hey, you know what? Don't do that again. I don't want to see you guys in here. Why are you wasting my time in this courtroom? You
Right.
know? And then that's it. And then you get out of there and you're like, well, I didn't, he said don't do it again, but there was no penalty. And if they just go back and do it again the very next day,
Yeah.
you're going to be filing back in contempt. Um, and if you didn't file the court case to start with, you're the respondent always. And, judges just don't like having people come back in their courtrooms, especially for family court, is my experience. And no, and they don't like it. And it's not a good place where you're going to get the satisfaction you want. And so if you can handle it outside of court, that's the best chance you got, because in court, you are not the favored son if you like this page. Which is
What?
okay, because I love you guys. I said you're not the favorite son of the judge if you like this page. So
No kidding. I'm like, well, if you're the primary parent, the other person's probably going to get fined or something. But if you're the
right.
non-custodial, actually, they're probably just going to be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Bye, guys.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So,
We shouldn't
oh,
laugh about
Daniel.
it, but it is what it is.
I mean,
It is
if
what
you
it
can't
is.
laugh at like the sick humor of the whole entire thing, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just it's terribly sad, and it's so damaging and degrading. And there's no reason that parents should go through that stuff and have those experiences. People just shouldn't have it in general, and it's unnecessary. But yet we continue it and do it over and over and over again. So, what's up,
Over and
Tony?
over and over again.
Good to see you, my friend. I hope you have a good day. Um,
Salute.
yeah. So, I didn't read
So text
Daniel's other
messages
one.
will. Oh, sorry, I was reading more of Bryant's thing. Do you
Go
see
for it.
that?
No.
That text messages sent to a child's phone will forward to her phone whenever he receives the text or email on his phone or computer.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to go up here and see.
I do agree that that's not great, right? And it's definitely an
Well, but
invasion. Like you should be able to have your conversation with your kids and stuff, but and I think going to court they'll tell her not to do it, right? I mean, that would be what the probably the answer would be is, hey, that's inappropriate. Um,
what if it's like 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old boy and hold on, there's people actually requesting to join our live on TikTok. No, thank you. Um,
not
what if
not
it's
that way.
like, you know, I don't I can see hmm, I guess I can just see where somebody would want to do that. Situations that some parent would want to do that if the child has been in naughty situations before. Okay. Naughty situations, but they're still obviously teenagers or something like that, or
Hmm.
younger. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, if you would want to see those things, I think I mean I don't know. The hard part is that it's just an invasion, and it's just really disrespectful. And
With
it's
the
not
apps or the
supportive.
forwarding.
Yeah, the
But if
forwarding, the apps, the tracking, it just doesn't build a good uh, trusting
oh, let's
relationship.
go around
And
the
to
other
have
way.
a good trusting relationship is very important. To try to build that bond, to build that trust. And when you're dealing with somebody who is not doing those things, and they're being underhanded and being, of course, the best way to do it is to be upfront and honest with them about it and tell them how you feel and what's going on, and ask them not to do it, and be respectful. And then, if they don't, then at that point in time, you got to decide if you want to go to court and if that's going to give you the satisfaction you want to get, or if it's just worth letting go and handling it in a different way. Like, hey, I'll put it in, whatever you send, I'm gonna stick all of his clothes in the closet, and I'm gonna put him on new stuff because the way you do things is not okay. And you can't, if she pays for the cell phone, you can't do nothing about it. I mean, that's just the way it goes. When someone's got the cell phone and they're taking care of those things, you likely will be just stuck with them recording those things and getting to see it. I think you can even see through all the stuff that's actually on text. Whenever it sends the text out, all the text that gets sent, you can see it on your statements and stuff, which nobody gets statements anymore, I don't think. But you can get those things. So I think that's a really big thing. And it's just sad that the contempts and stuff aren't taken seriously. And so most people that go through that, who then file for contempt and have these problems, like even getting to see their kids, and they have these problems, it just isn't taken seriously. And then it happens over and over again. And if you do a contempt and then it takes you 3 to 6 months to get in, and then it happens right away afterwards, it might be a year or two before, it might be a year before you get even your second court date to say, hey, the first time you told them not to do this and gave them a slap on the wrist, they didn't listen to you, and we had to come back here again. And there's no requirement that judges do anything at that point in time. And so
Yeah.
a judge could even see you a year later and say, "Hey, I haven't seen my kid twice or at all in the last year, and I've been
Right.
wanting to see my kid in this last year, but I haven't gotten to see him, and I'm here again because she's in contempt of what the order is."
Yeah.
And a judge, even then, I mean, there's no requirement, so you could do that over and over again. It could be 4 or 5 years, and I know guys, I mean, I know guys, lots of guys who are having that exact experience, that they are continuing to go to court and continue to go to court and getting no satisfaction, and they get out of court and they get no response. They get no support from the judge. And I think that's something that we really need to be addressing excuse me, in legislation, is that we need legislation to
Hold people
hold
accountable.
hold people accountable
Yeah.
and make it easy on the judges. They don't have to have discretion on this stuff. They don't have to have, they don't have to think about what's right and be like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like that's, you know, we tell them what they get to do, and they get to follow the rules. And judges are really good at following the directions. When you give them
Yeah.
directions, that's their whole job. And so, our I think one of our things to be working on, and one of the bills that I see as being important that I'm focused on moving forward, is a bill that makes contempt charges. Um, it gives a penalty, and it gives the judge direction on what they get to do to hold these parents accountable. Because if you go there before a judge 3 or 4 times, you might be a year or two out, and that's just too far. Red, what's up? We answer questions.
So he said to you, we're trying.
Yeah, I think we
Going
answered that
off
one pretty
on
well.
mad tangents there.
I
I
think
like that
that
in what you were saying though, Zach.
yeah, thank you. Um, it's a hard thing, man. That's a really hard thing, and all these things are really difficult. And I just think if we made it easier on the judges to make the right choice, it would support more families being more connected, and less people would be using their kids as weapons if they didn't have that opportunity. But I think a lot of
Yeah.
judges aren't like aren't terrible about the whole thing, but that they just don't like doing it, and they don't want to punish people. They don't want to punish the person they already punished, that they gave everything to, and so they want them just to do the right thing. Like I gave you this, and you should just do the right thing. So,
Yeah.
um,
Some of them, you think that, like, some of them,
deviations.
especially like, oh, sorry.
No, okay, say it.
Um, Lately, you've been able to see like viral type videos of judges actually holding people accountable. So it seems as though more of them are coming around in situations of, somebody withholding visitation for no reason, or somebody, like serious cases of parental alienation and things like that. There's videos, and especially because of, like you were talking about the COVID era, there's a lot of video of things that happened because there was so much um streamed, but not streamed, zoomed type court things going on. So
Right.
that was kind of a benefit from COVID, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of. I had a
Everything
lot of
was
benefits from
recorded
COVID.
for
There
once.
we go. So, Red asked about support deviations, and his specific question was about dads paying all travel expenses. And I think that's something that um, a judge gets to decide how they want to divide all that stuff up. And really, probably the lawyer of the client that wins makes most of those decisions when they actually write up the documents because they write up the order that the judges then sign. And so the went to court, and that your ex's lawyer uh, won, then they would be the ones who would write up the parenting plan in the order that the way that they would want it to be done, and then the judge would sign off on it, and that would be the way it goes. And so it was likely written by the other side's attorney, um, and that's why that's in there that way. And I've heard of a lot of things like that. I do think that's a fairly common thing, and I think even when we were talking with Kevin that he was responsible for doing all of that last week. I believe he mentioned that last week on his call that he was actually responsible for doing all that and paying for all the travel expenses for his daughter. So I think it's a very common, unfortunate, and it's something that it'd be nice if it was equal, and maybe there's a good reason. Maybe you make a bunch more money, which is probably true.
Or but who okay, so when you talk
But
about deviations because of travel, things like that, it's like, okay, if I were in that position to have to decide stuff like that, I'd think
oh,
about who why is there travel expenses in the first place? Who is the parent that decided to move away? Did I let, is it a judge that granted so and so's request to move across the country? Well, if he or she was the one that moved across the country, then why is the person left in the hometown having to pay the travel expenses? That's not
hmm.
fair. You know what I mean? So, you think about like the what's it called, Zach? Like, in most orders there's the, move away, like a contingency type of plan. Do you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about.
So
But
you
there's
could have that.
if you want, yeah, if you want to leave, then this is like the penalty stuff for leaving. Um,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I think that could be written in, right? I don't know that it's like a necessary thing, and I know a lot of people have been talking about there's a
I
interference
think
with
it is
child custody,
necessary.
and that's criminal in every state.
Oh, that's
Um,
not. Yeah, that's wrong. Right? Are you gonna go
I don't
on
know
to
if it's
that?
wrong or not. Actually, I don't know all the states' laws.
Okay,
I do
so
know it's in quite a few states. Wyoming has it. South Dakota has it. I think there's one in Texas for sure because I know there's been a big bill they were working on this last year.
right, but as
Um,
the sorry, can I cut you off for a second?
Go for it.
So if there is a in Wyoming, right, per the statutes, if there's a primary physical custodian, even if two parties have joint legal custody, yeah, I would like to be able to say, oh, they took off with the kids, they won't give them back, et cetera, et cetera. Um, they're still in town, they won't give them to me. That you would think that's custodial interference, right? They're not
Right.
giving me the children when they're supposed to, or the children aren't being transferred to me when they're supposed to be. So most people would call that custodial interference, but that's
Right.
not. That's not.
Right.
Not not in Wyoming. So in Wyoming, for it to be custodial interference with two parties like that, if they like basically willfully leave the state, like cross state lines with them when they're supposed to be with the other parent, then it's possible they could be charged with custodial interference. But if both parents are legal guardians, split up situation, whatever, each person has say so and whatever, it's still just, it's a civil matter.
Right.
But it should be a
Yeah.
crime, a total crime. It should be the way they define custodial interference in every state. You would think when somebody in any situation withholds the kids from another person for, no matter of fact, serious reason, then it should be custodial interference, but it's not. Does that make sense?
Right.
Kind of?
Yeah, it's actually a different. The term actually means something different than what we
People
think of
think.
it as
Yeah.
being. Right. No,
Yep.
and that happens that happens quite a lot. That's I mean
Yeah.
going to law. The words all have very specific meanings and they're very difficult. And so that's definitely pretty tough. Let's see what Chuck said though. Chuck's got something coming up here. Please read that, Zach Martin. It's facts. Oh, that it's. I'll put it up on the thing because it's long.
Where?
Um, Chuck's on it. So
Of course, Chuck. I think just read it.
I think that a lot of things, yeah. Any order issued is unconstitutional. They throw law and procedure at you, and you don't get real law until the appellate court. And no one has money to get to that level, which is 100% true. And those are abusive titles. You're a parent, and unless found unfit, it's due process violation of 14th Amendment and relevant case law. They will ignore until appellate court. I mean, I
And
think you're probably
why?
right.
What's the case?
Well, they don't have to,
Oh,
right?
well, I know, but the case like we talked about with Melissa, where they'll pull in abuse and child neglect situations, the
Oh, it's the Brady
parents,
law.
not necessarily Brady law, but it's Troxville versus
Oh
Granville or
yeah.
something like that, right?
Hmm.
So parents, they in those situations they give them all their rights, regardless. But in family court, it's not the same. It's not the same,
Right.
and it is unconstitutional.
And
Absolutely.
they're really clear that the federal government doesn't want to take those cases on. They don't want to do family law cases and stuff. So it's a state courts issue. Um,
Yeah.
and they bring the circus. I equate the justice you get in family court more recently to what you get when you are a veteran. And any of my veteran friends on here, correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody I know that's been a veteran, and I know hundreds of veterans, they talk about when they want to get their benefits from the VA, that the first time you go to get your benefits from the VA, you get denied. Like everybody gets denied first time through the VA, and only if you actually appeal the denial do you have a chance of getting the benefits. And you might appeal two or three times to the VA to say, "Hey, you're incorrect. Here's what my stuff says." Before somebody
Right.
notices it and actually gets you your benefits, and then they back pay you all your benefits because they acknowledge they were wrong, and that this system's also very similar. That the judges on the basic level who do most of the cases and 199% of all the stuff, those judges can do whatever they want. If you don't appeal, whatever they say goes, and that's your decision. That's what you get. And if only when you appeal do you get anything different. And a different judge who reads the rules differently says, "Hey, that's not actually the way you do it." But it only happens on appeal, because if you don't appeal, whatever the judge gives you is what you get to have, and that's it. So, and Chuck's on his fourth appeal, so he's an appeal master. I
Right.
couldn't imagine. No fun. Oh,
Doing
I think we had
nuts.
some positive movement today. It sounded like Chuck, so I'm happy for what I heard about you today, and I'm looking forward to you getting success, man. 1,642 days is too long.
I had an attorney tell me one time, like, oh, I would appeal for you. We could appeal this, but I'm too emotionally involved. That's to appeal. It's like,
Yeah,
what? So you're
like
like
how
telling
about?
me we have grounds for an appeal, probably, but I should go find somebody else because you're too emotionally involved. Like,
Mhm,
thanks a lot.
right,
Thanks
and the
a lot.
next guy wants 30 grand, so you're gonna spend 30 grand to get
Exactly.
your.
Like, are
Yeah,
you kidding me?
yeah.
Like,
It's I mean, it's definitely not a. It's just it's not a safe place. Family court's not a safe place, and it really is. It's
nobody.
it's destructive in so many ways on so many levels. It's a terrible thing. Oh, I'm gonna read this one on here. This is always a good one. Chuck's just giving out all the love right now. So, bomb.
Chuck Dizzle.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I think I mean that's why when I thought about doing this show, I called you up and said we should do this together. First of all, we're
Right.
from Wyoming and we've done stuff
So,
together already.
what is that the one you put up there?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so because I'm on my phone, like the screen up here where you like where
It's
the
just
ticker
us.
is, it's
Yeah.
really tiny, but
So you can't read the words. Well, you know what?
well,
Everybody else can read the
no,
words.
I hadn't scrolled down on the bottom, and so yeah, now I can see them. But you gonna read it out loud or what? You're here to
I
mother
can. Yeah, I'll read it
shit.
all out to you. And
Okay,
why not?
fine.
I'm going back to it though.
Proud of you, girl. Thanks,
But look,
Chad.
you're a hero to
Yep.
mothers and show women that don't give up. Find a path. Proud of you, girl. Alicia Bullock. There's no punctuation, so I tried to.
It's fine.
I read
It's
it.
fine.
I love it.
I
It's
do my
amazing when you're reading
best.
stuff, though. You do a great job. I think you're an amazing person, and you have had
Well, I just
ex- experiences that so many women haven't had, and then your experience in transitioning from non-custodial, where you could have gotten primary custody and been a total dick and like shoved it back in his face. You were like, you know what? I believe in shared parenting. I know that's what's best. And even when I can get back at you for you totally using our kids as weapons and being a giant douche, I didn't. And I'm not going to because that's not who I am. And I have like
well,
the
okay.
hugest respect for you for that. Like the
Well,
hugest
hear me out
respect.
for a second. Hear me out for a second.
You're not as good as I'm making you out to be. Is that what you're saying?
No, I am because ultimately I made that decision. Okay. Ultimately, I
Yeah.
made that decision. But had I been reliant upon myself and what I felt in making that decision, if I had been alone, and also if I had not ever been involved with our community or never been introduced to you or Mark or Ryan or Rosa or I mean any of these anybody, I would not have made that choice. I would have been so backwards. I I only say that being honest with myself, you know.
Yeah.
Um
That's okay.
because and obviously Jesus, sorry, y'all.
I mean, he's the
Without him,
reason for the
I
season,
couldn't
right?
I could not do anything. But um it's hard to explain. But it was empowering, and I was able to let go of a lot of things in one phone conversation and go, you know what? This is everything that has happened, but I'm going to give you grace. And I think if more, all of us, more people, everybody, if we could just remember that for a couple seconds before we make any decision or say anything to anybody about, no, I mean, no matter what it is, it could have to do with our, family court situation or anybody you're having a disagreement or conflict with, just is it going to matter tomorrow, type thinking path. I mean, you have to do that because, ugh, you always bring that up. And I always almost get emotional about all of it. And sometimes I'm like, man, shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Because sometimes you make certain decisions and then you still have to deal with the bullshit, if that makes sense. you know,
Right. Yeah. If you were a
I
primary parent and you only had to deal with yourself, you wouldn't have to deal with any of the bullshit, right? Like I get to make all the decisions. But when you share, you get
yeah,
to deal with the
it's
bullshit.
hard and it's rough, and there's things that certain people change, but there's things that certain people will never change, and so you still have to deal with the bullshit. And so it goes back to just being able to give that grace and go, okay, they're the parent, I'm the parent, middle ground, common ground, or kick rocks, one or the other. But, you know,
Right.
grace is a big deal. It's a big deal,
It's a
Zach.
really big deal. No, it's a huge thing, and it's one of the things that I think it's having so much grace for myself and for my son's mom in this experience and stuff, and not being
Yeah.
angry and bitter towards her has helped support us build a better relationship and do better together for our son. And
Right.
I don't have 50-50. I mean, I have the normal overnights that I get as a non-custodial parent in Wyoming or South Dakota. I get the least you can get, um, but I get them every day. I take them to school and I pick them up from school, and that's a really powerful thing. And I don't think if it weren't for me being so kind to her all the time, over and over and over again, and supportive and asking how I can be of help, that I would have that opportunity for my son. And my son is thriving and cherishes every moment. Like every moment that he's with me, I mean, that boy's like on my side and he wants to hang out and he's like, Dad, 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 Dad. I mean, I get to hear I love you, 5 times like every afternoon. He's like sitting there, we're doing something. He's like, Dad, I love you. And I'm like, son, I love you too, man. Like, thanks so much for telling me that. I really appreciate that. You're so amazing. And I make sure I tell him a lot also because he says it so often that I want to make sure that I say it first when I'm having like loving moments for him because it's so important to him, and I can tell because of how much he says it. And
Right.
like, says it 10 times in a day, and so I make sure that I at least initiate it a couple of times. And but that I should cherish it, and I had that opportunity mostly because I wasn't fighting her anymore. I was letting her know that I was available and I was present and I was focused on it, and I didn't give up on what I wanted, what I saw. I had this vision of us working together on me getting to see my son every day, me getting to take him to school, me being intimately involved, and I kept asking, I kept doing things. I was always there, like you know, she had a boyfriend that she lived with for a while, and she was letting him take him to school and not me. And I was like, I'm here. I'll drive to your house, which is a block and a half from the school, and I'll drop him off, and
But you
we'll
had to
be all
sit back and
good.
take it for a long time. You had to just
Yeah,
sit back and take it for a while.
I took it. I took
For a
it, and
while.
it sucked for almost for the whole fall of his kindergarten year.
Yeah.
Um, I got to hear about this other guy taking him to school and stuff when I was ready and willing and able, but she wanted to make her family with this guy and have him get to do that kind of stuff, and I didn't have a say so. And instead of bitching about it, I didn't. But you know what? Whenever they missed a chance, whenever he couldn't do it, whenever he wasn't around, I was freaking there. I was there every moment I had, and let's go. I think it was really a big thing. And I think more people like Daniel's saying, if they had that more attitude, it's you're not going to get anywhere by fighting with this person. The only way you're going to get somewhere with them is being kind and supportive and grateful for what you get and gracious with what you have. And
Yeah.
if you can give and give and always be giving, I mean, my son's mom, I don't know if she recognizes it. I don't think that, I think whatever's in the moment that she wants is what she gets, or it's what you've done for me now, not what you did for me yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, but that, um, I just keep being there. I keep showing up the same every day. I keep showing up consistent for her and for my son, and that I make the choice to be there no matter what. And I never miss.
Yeah.
And and that's a lot of pressure to never miss.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
but
Chris, like Christopher says, oh, it takes two. Well, you know what? Sometimes it just takes one
yeah,
initially,
yep,
really. And
yep,
even if it's always just the one, I mean, that's all you can do.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Laying down your pride as a parent is really hard. I completely understand that. And just sitting back and taking it. you know,
yeah,
just to gain
taking it.
somehow, some way.
Yeah, like I get something, and my son gets something, and it's really all about him. Like this is I mean, I'm living my life and I'm making my choices, right? I could totally make this about me, but my objective is to help him live the life he wants to live and be better than I am. To learn from my mistakes, to grow from my experiences, and for me to grow from those and help shape him and give him understanding and knowledge and information, so that way he doesn't fall into the same traps that I've fallen into. He doesn't make the same mistakes that I've made,
Yeah.
and that he can do better than me. And that's my real intention. I am fully focused. I mean, I don't know that. Um, I think everybody that knows me knows how focused I am on being the best dad I possibly can. And I spend time every day. I write notes to myself. I analyze where I'm at. How am I showing up for my son? How am I showing up for myself? Am I taking care of myself? Am I hitting the gym enough? Am I doing my work hard enough that I need to be doing? How am I showing up? Because I get to leave this legacy for my son, and I want him to see me being the best. I want him to see me succeeding and growing and changing the world around me for the better and for him and him knowing it.
Right.
And he knows that I'm doing these things. And I think him, I like to make these bold declarations. I talked about studying for the bar exam and my declarations on studying for the bar and how much I was doing it. And I wanted to shout it out there because I want everybody to know, and I wanted to have that support from everybody in the community and people around me. And I tell my son all this stuff, like he's doing the Father's Day event, and we're doing this world's breaking water gun fight. And he invited his teacher today to the water gun
Water
fight.
gun
He's like,
fight?
he's like, you got to come to the
Nice.
water gun fight. And so, her husband runs the Boy Scouts here locally. They just moved here. And so,
Well, you
he
know
runs
they're all going to be there.
they're all going to freaking be there. Yeah. And it's going to be an epic, epic water gun fight. So, it's been an hour now, so I can talk about it again. But if you have nothing going on Father's Day, and you should have something going on Father's Day, and it should be in Rapid City because we are having the world record breaking largest water gun fight ever in Rapid City on Father's Day. It's going to be so dope. Yeah.
It will be.
Um, it will be really great. Yeah, it's gonna be really special. 4,000 people in the park. There's a creek right by there. We're gonna have food trucks. We're gonna have music playing, and 4,000 people is gonna be one hell of a party. So, um,
What you got to remind everybody again, what's the record you're supposed to beat?
Stanford University, that university in California, set the record at 3,875. So, if we didn't
4,000
get 4,000, we could
should be
still beat
easy.
it.
Should be
It,
easy.
it sounds like a very doable number. So we got a lot of good stuff going on. I have mentioned that, Ryan. Thank you very much, but I'll mention it again because I'm going back for about an hour.
Oh,
Um,
Ryan's so busy, he can't come on with us. He can just sit here and comment on what's going on in our live.
uh, so yes, we did put it on there. We are going to put a. Actually, you know what, Ryan, put it in the comments right there, and get it on there. I did
Biscuit
mention
Circle
earlier on
6.
that we have a NCAA bracket going on, Final Four bracket. And if you go to Tough, it's on Tough. Ryan's going to put it here in the comments so we can have that linked right down there. I posted it on Kids or Dads. It's on Tough. It's on everywhere, AFESP.
And if you
And
win, you
everybody's
win
getting,
$50, right?
and you win $50.
50
And it
bucks.
costs you $0 to get into it, so you're not betting anything.
Not a paid bracket.
Um,
Free.
and um, and thanks, Ryan, for being so generous and doing that. Did some TikToks. Love it. And so I would go on there and like that. And then it's a bunch of other guys that are part of this movement. So I don't think Alicia's done it yet. Have you done it yet, or are you in?
No, but I'm already doing another bracket.
Well,
I
then
don't
do
how
one.
how many brackets are you supposed to do?
I
I'm
think
new.
27 is the recommended number of brackets if you want to have a chance of winning one.
Maybe I'll do it.
You should do it.
I'll do it
Um,
tonight.
it'll be a good opportunity. There you go. It's in the comments right there. It's
As long
online.
as somebody gives me
Christopher,
their picks.
um, hey, just go the lowest number all the way down the thing, and you're going to win for sure. So,
God.
um, and click on there and do that. That's gonna be a fun time. And I think doing more like these things would be something that I like to do. And I've actually done a couple with Ryan in the past, and I want to continue doing these. And it's just a great way for these guys to connect, for us to get together and connect with other people in this movement, and make new friends and have a chance to give make new friends and give people hard times. I think that's like what boys
Ryan,
do.
that's
So
not a clickable link. Sorry, cut you off.
yeah,
Not a clickable link. Um, what is Chris talking about? Just get 76. What
I
is
don't
that?
know.
Chris, what do you mean?
You're only talking to somebody else. So uh,
Just get 76.
yeah. I don't know. It's a song, but so that's what we have going on. I think those are the big things. I'm really excited for. The water guns, 76 water guns, 7,600. we need 3,000. We could do 3,876. That's true. I just want to do 4,000. I think
Oh,
there's
I get what he's
four
saying.
thousand sounds like a
Duh.
better number. So yes, there is some wiggle room, and I want to blow it out, and then start a trend that's something that we do every year. And then I want to do these things all over the place. So one of the things that I got going on, guys, is also doing a bike to school day with your kids. So dad's bike to school day, and I definitely recommend uh, everybody get in on this bike to school day thing. I want to do them across the whole entire country. So, but we're going to do it this year on the final Thursday of the school year. So, which is I think is the Thursday before. I'm hoping Guinness is going to be present. I've emailed them. I have called them. It you would think it'd be an easier process, and they've like said they're going to pass me off. Anyways, I really hope so, and I will call them again tomorrow, Daniel, because that's a good reminder that I need to call them again and email them again,
Who?
because I have not heard from them in what feels like an eternity, and so
You're saying
um,
Guinness like Guinness.
Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh,
It's
okay.
that's who it is. Guinness.
Well, they have to be there to get the record, right?
I
I didn't know if
you know
you
I don't
might have been talking about the beer. It's Father's Day.
they have a bunch of they have a bunch of rules and stuff, so there is ways to get it without having somebody there. But if you have like a certified person who can tally
Count.
it, there's a way to they have different approaches and stuff, um
Just somebody to
and
count.
it's not one of the things that they are really excited about because they have an email that comes out that is passing me off to somebody else. Like we have this other company that comes out and they do this stuff for you. So
Right.
um and so
Third party. Third
but I
party.
do anticipate that they're going to be there. That is my intention, and I've been really working on it for the last shoot. I mean, I've been working on with them. I probably started talking to them in October, so there's no reason that it shouldn't happen. But it's going to be fantastic, and if they don't show up this year, they're going to show up next year when I do it again because I'm doing it again. I'm doing it from now until the end of time. So,
Nice.
and then it can be Zach Martin's Guinness World Record.
That's nice.
That is nice. When I'm dead, it'd be like a memorial for me, like, hey, boom. Every year we keep setting a new
Yeah,
record.
Zach died. Let's go shoot each other with
let's
squirt
go.
guns,
Let's
guys.
go straight to
Let's
the
go.
squirt guns. Let's get it, boys. Let's go. I think that's you know what? If I go down and that's how I'm remembered every day, if people remember me for badass water gun fights,
I'm
I
sorry.
succeeded in this world. So
Yeah, you did.
I blew this shit out the water. Um, so that's going to be happening. But the bike to school days are going to be happening. We're going to do a bike to school day the last Thursday of the school year, and then the second Thursday of the school year in the fall. And every year I want to do this, and I want to get them back and forth and get them working because I think that's something that we could do in Cheyenne, we could do in Casper, we could do in Rapid City, and that other dads who want to put on like the school days with their kids, they can do in other towns. Rock Springs is going to be on the board too, so we're going to get Rock Springs on it also because I have an administrator who I know personally in Rock Springs, so pretty
Nice.
sure he can get us in, and uh, it's going to be a really good place. So I think that's going to be a really important event, and I'd like to make it like a national holiday, right? Like we Dad's Bike to School Day is a thing that we celebrate everywhere, and we take the time at least one day of the year to go and spend that morning with our kids and ride bikes to school and build that memory because I know from my son's personal experience, he freaking loves it. Like every time he ride bikes to school, he is like in hog heaven, riding his bike, and cruising, and he's asking every day. I just can't bike at 35 degrees in the
Yeah.
son. Listen, I'm old now, and I'm
It's still
old.
too cold.
It's too cold. I have patience. I can now wait until springtime, but next month we'll have some 40-degree weather mornings, and if it's at least 40 outside, I could probably ride my bike and not curse myself the whole entire time. Going, why do I
Right?
say yes to this? So, um, and Daniel, yeah, I will PM you on that stuff because I definitely want to do that. I would like to know more how we can get that set up and get that going. So. Actually, PM me because I'm going to be hanging out with this, and then I'm going right to my studies. I get to do another quiz here this evening for an ethics test that I'm taking, which is a story I'm not getting into tonight. But I'm taking an ethics test next
Wait.
week, and I'm going right into that, and then I'm going to bed. So, but I definitely want to get on it tomorrow, Daniel. So my intention is to put this biking to school thing going tomorrow. So, and I would love support. I got a little bit of a team with my board. I'm working on it right now, and so we're going to have Cheyenne and Rapid City for sure doing it, and I'm guessing Rock Springs most likely also.
Might as
Thanks, Daniel.
well get a hold of somebody in
Casper's.
Casper.
I mean, I guarantee we know some people in Casper.
We can
So
organize it with
basically,
a
Wildman's going to be
pickup.
holding it down. On the last Thursday of the school year, Wildman's going to have be represented, and they're going to be biking to school every day. So, but I'd
Nice.
like to get them everywhere. I think it'd be something good to do that. Um, just one more thing to build that experience, to build that connection, and that's what we're really focused on here is helping dads build that connection with their kids and have that meaningful relationship. And that's something that that your kids are going to tie back into and remember over and over again. You may not do it but twice a year, but even that 2 times a year is going to sustain it through the summer. It's going to You do it in the fall, they're going to look forward to the one in the spring. Like, I can't wait till you can, Dad, I can't wait till we ride our bikes to school again in the springtime. And it's something that it gives us good conversations and a lot of connection, and uh,
Good for
I definitely
everybody
want that
involved.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Danny, you guys can take a cruise down to like a creek or something like that, right? Because you can do school anywhere. You guys can go to the creek and do an outdoor lesson. It sounds absolutely epic, and I'm so sad so that I can't do those things. But I don't know. What else you want to talk about, Alicia? What do you have going on? We're at a minute 15, hour and 15 minutes. What
Hour and
else you think?
15. I don't know. I
I
thought
feel like
this
we
was
covered
pretty cool.
everything.
Just winging it with no guest. It
It
worked
was kind
out.
of fun to answer some questions and stuff. I think it'd be better if
Oh,
I
that was
knew all
fun.
the answers to some of the questions. You guys definitely challenged me, but I'm looking up a couple of these things and I'm going to put some effort into and some time to make sure that I know better for next time because that's what it's all about. So
Hi, Scott.
Scott, thank
Did
you
you ever
for the
have you
kind
ever met
words.
Scott Bumper?
I don't,
No,
I don't think so.
he's a pretty
Was
cool
he in?
dude. DC. That's when I met him. He's probably been lots
I
of places, but
I did not meet him in. I don't think I met him in DC. I was in DC the year before you were in DC, I think, or 2 years before you were in DC. What is dad supposed to do when they run out of money fighting a divorce for your 6 kids? Hmm.
come to the table. There
Yep.
is nothing else you can do and beg for somebody else to come to the table.
Yep.
That's all you
You
can do.
know,
I mean,
um, or
that's what
you do it yourself.
or
And
go, yeah, pro se. Find somebody that's pro se to help learn you up and train you and yeah.
there's a lot of pro se guys out there and stuff. I know one guy's doing a lot of stuff right now. Yeah. Oh, definitely keep going, Kenny. Don't stop. But you're gonna have to find a different strategy. Unfortunately. And but Lawrence DeMarco is doing a pro se course he's built or is building, which
Who?
goes through it. He's a lawyer out of Pennsylvania. He's a really nice guy. I think he was in St. Louis. Did you meet him there?
Uh, maybe. I don't know.
There's
It's
a lot of people there.
possible. It's
Anyways, a
possible.
really nice
Who's
guy. He's
what's his bucket we had on sorry, I'm just having a brain fart. We had a pro se.
David Graves.
Yes. God, no. That's not David Graves. David
No,
Graves
David wrote the
wrote the
book.
book. Um oh no. We know a guy. If you send us a message, we'll send you his information. I just I cannot,
Yes,
I'm having a terrible brain fart right now. I cannot remember his name.
but I definitely think you got to keep going. I think asking
Yeah.
for
Don't quit.
some
Don't
kind
give
of
up.
shared time, asking for some grace, and being gracious yourself to 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 your ex and what is going on, is only something that's going to be supportive. Um,
Scott Ryan's on TikTok saying you eat crayons.
right now,
Oh,
eating
yeah.
crayons.
Right now.
Better get
We
on
forgot
TikTok and
about
defend
that
yourself,
for a
Scott.
while. Where has Scott been? Anyway, Scott's a cool dude.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. And so I definitely want to support getting these things happening more and more often. So I have intentions to do these events. We're going to set up some fishing events and stuff this year also in Wyoming and in South Dakota. And if others want to jump in and do these things in other places, I'm always happy to help support and make that happen. I think that if I'm doing it, we can do it at the same time and have a conference call where everybody's doing it at the exact same time in their own places, and we can just run through the gamut of what we think we need to do. And if we're all doing it on the same day, it makes making flyers on Canva a lot easier, and could make life a lot simpler and give us an opportunity to move forward together, having some accountability and support and a team who's focused and committed to making this stuff happen. So I'm excited about it. I got a board meeting tomorrow morning. Yeah, Tom, fishing event in May. Love that, man. Congrats. It's such a great place to connect with kids, right? Like fishing. My son just absolutely he loves everything,
What
but
was
he
that one
loves
thing that you guys were doing at that lake?
which lake?
Uh, Damn.
Oh, Kirk Gowdy State Park, Granite
Yeah,
Reservoir.
Kurt Gowdy.
So we're doing that again also. So that's going to be this year. So the state of Wyoming actually has a free fishing day
Yeah,
across the whole entire state. Twice, I think. It happens twice a year. And
right.
so my intention is to do that day in having the event. That way we don't have to worry about getting like passes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we can just get the city to. We'll have a section for us, and we'll have the ranger will actually just let us use that spot. And if we can get them, if we can get a couple other spots, then I would be open to doing more. Like if you can get, we can get the ones in Casper going on,
Right.
Glendale or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Granite's just so close. I mean, it's right outside of Cheyenne, so it's
No, it's just
30
it's a
minutes.
really good place to do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. And so my intention is then we're gonna get back to the other ones. We're gonna do Santa Clauses, and when we were doing Santa Clauses, we did back to back weekends of Santa Claus, and we're gonna do back to back weekends of Santa Claus again. That way, if you're a non-custodial parent, whatever weekend you have your kids, a safe place you can go to for Santa Claus that is in support of you and cares about your experience, and we're here to help you have it. And then this next year, we had done one Easter egg hunt in the past, and this next year we're going to do back
How
to
long
back
ago was that?
weekends Easter egg hunts.
I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe?
3 years ago, yeah,
Yeah,
5 years ago, 4 years ago. It was three,
3 or 4.
um, 3 or 4, yeah, and I think it was 4 years ago, and it was a great event, and we had probably I bet we had 400 kids up there. We filled up over 10,000 Easter eggs, and we had 400 kids, and they were gone in like 30 seconds, and it was gone. All the eggs were gone. We're like,
Right?
whoa, holy smokes, man! Like it was amazing to see these kids just like explode over these eggs. We spent days filling Easter eggs, and these kids snatched them all up in 30 seconds. It
Right.
was it was it was an awesome thing. And so, but I want to do it on 2 weekends in a row because it's just so powerful to have that opportunity. And whatever weekend you have your kids, if you it, you know it doesn't matter. You can come and you can be there, and that we're going to have a group that is designed around your experience as a non-custodial parent because we understand where you're at, we understand what you're going through. We've been there, and we're here to support.
It's happening.
I just muted her.
Okay,
Okay,
just
unmute
like.
you there. So, honestly, I think that that's been some of the best stuff we've got going on is the events. That was what really I thought set us apart, um, and that's gonna set us apart again. And I'm looking forward to doing one. And I'm gonna get my friend Jesse West on here to do another live because I love Jesse, man. I haven't talked to you in a long time, and he's not on here, but I've been a long time, and I need to give him a call. So he's on my list to call tomorrow. Don't give him a heads up, and uh, and he'll be a guest we'll have because he has put together some of the most epic father kid events. He does all the parades, had done all the parades, and he did like a Harlem Globetrotters event in Springfield, Illinois, all for dads and stuff, and had all his dads out there. I think Rosa played. Rosa's like 5'2" or something like that, like 300 pounds, and His ass was out there playing basketball with the Globetrotters. He's not that short or that fat. I'm just giving him a hard time. But Jesse West is a total badass, and uh, definitely somebody who has inspired me, and I look forward to talking to him more about this stuff. But that these events give us these places, and I think it's going to be a major part of how Kids Deserve Dads moves forward and makes a bigger difference in our community and around the country. And that
Right.
these are
Help
ways
with the
that
growth.
we're going to get in front of people all the time, right? We're going to get
Yeah.
in, uh, and it's going to be great. And the news will see us, and the radio will be there. And every time we have these events, it's just another chance for us to get those people out there and have our story told and
Yep.
our experience out in front of people and get to talk to them on a bigger level than just person to person. But and so that's really a big focus for me and for Kids Deserve Dads, and something that I think is going to make a big impact locally and around the country for this movement. So I'm excited about what's happening and what's coming. Next month, I should hear about passing the bar. Like, we're probably 3 to 4 weeks out, and and then we're gonna have a.
Did they call you? They send something in the mail, like
I think they sent you an email,
just an email?
just an email from
Like,
like an
hey, you passed
undisclosed, like, yeah, you
with a
passed. Hey,
C
mm,
plus.
I guess you're a lawyer now. How much money you got? Because we want some more of it. That's what
Can
they.
you
That's what they say.
can you
That
fail the ethics exam? Is that
you
failable?
can. It is
Oh,
scalable.
wow.
This is my third time taking it, so
What? I wouldn't say that out loud
it's okay.
anymore.
Well, lawyer ethics, and human ethics are
Ethics?
different
Yeah.
things. Yes, we're talking
Well,
about ethics.
yeah.
Yeah, well, lawyers, it's the least amount of stuff you have to do as a lawyer to be in compliance with the rules of lawyerdom, as opposed to like what an ethical person would do.
Right.
And so,
Well,
there's a lot of things that there's a lot of talk about fees and how you get to make money and how you
yes.
can not make money, um, and what you have to do to make money. That's a lot of the stuff that's discussed, and that's the ethical stuff. It's not really
Yep.
like you know being a good person. Um,
Right. No, right. So I'm sure everybody wants to know how many once you get going, how many
yeah.
pro bono cases will you do every year?
Well,
How
it's
many?
only recommended that
Yep.
I
One.
do 50 hours.
I
Oh,
know.
I'm gonna do.
But
I mean, come on. Melissa
how
Isaacs
many will
does a
you do?
ton of pro bono. I'm gonna do a lot. And actually, what I really would like to do is not necessarily do like a whole lot of pro bono cases, but that I just give a whole bunch of hours. That I do like a flat fee and I just do it, and I make it happen. That it's not terribly expensive, and that I'm not getting rich off of it, but that I get to make a difference for more people. My
Right.
experience of people that don't have skin in the game don't put the work in, and I don't want to have a dad who's going to half-ass this thing and not do what I'm asking him to do and make me look bad, and not get shit done and be a good dad. And so, um, a little skin in the game is going to be required because I think it's important to keep keep that person being focused and attentive into it. But
Right.
that I'm going to give plenty of hours. I will far exceed in the first year my lifetime suggestion for lawyers for giving out free work. So yeah, I mean,
Just
Melissa, I think the
curious.
same kind of stuff, right? Like, I mean, everybody does that. If you're in a father's rights area of law, you're giving away
Yeah.
free hours. You're
Jeff's
doing
work
free work.
style.
Yeah, like and I want to charge like a flat rate. Just hey, you give me $3,000 and I'll do your case for you. Like that kind of stuff. So
He's
and
quoting prices now, guys. He's
yeah,
quoting
I don't know. I'm
prices.
I'm not I'm not giving a price. I'm
Hold
just
him
saying
to
like
it. Hold him to
a
it.
flat
Hold
amount.
him to
Oh
it in
well,
4 months.
there'll be 100 people in South Dakota who follow this thing. But it would be a something along those lines. So I want to give something it's an easy thing for people to do and make it comfortable, but also I get paid a little bit of money, and they're like, I gave him $3,000. I want to make sure that when he asks me to do something, that I actually do what he says I need to do.
Right.
And I want them to be focused on making the changes. We're going to
Yep.
work on meal prepping. I just meal prep today. We're going to meal prep. We're going to work on all the things because I think it's important to be well rounded when you go through this experience.
Yeah.
So I know, Daniel. I wish you lived in Wyoming also. Where are you from, Daniel? I could look you up, but I'm not going to right now. Wyoming's the best. I live in South Dakota right now, which
Maybe
is
he's in South
second
Dakota.
best. Oh, good. South Dakota's fantastic. So I'm taking the bar exam in Wyoming in July. So July
OBO.
27th in Ohio. I like it. I love Ohio. I sold
Where's
books
OBO
in
at?
St. Clairsville, if you know where St. Clairsville is, just outside of Wheeling, for a whole summer, and I had an epic time in the sticks of southeastern Ohio. Epic.
When you did you say you sold books?
I sold books, yeah, educational
Like
books
door
door
to
to door.
door, like one of those magazine kids?
Yeah,
What?
I was selling encyclopedia type books with Southwestern Company. So
No wonder I can see it. Oh,
yeah,
you
I was
guys rode
good
around
too.
the van.
No,
You got out,
I had my own
just
car.
go.
I was
Oh,
driving. So,
oh,
oh, what? No way. You live in St. Clairsville? That's amazing. What are the chances of that? Like, I tell people from Ohio all the time about St. Clairsville, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've been to Bridgeport." Um, and they're like, "St.
no one
Clairsville? I've
talking
never
about.
even heard of it." I'm like, "Oh, it's the city just across the river from." Yeah, I was. I was a dope groupie salesman too, man. I made a ton of money. Um, and it was so great. I love that area, man. What a good spot, man. I think that'd be a great place to do it at. I mean,
Like a Kirby vacuum salesman. Exactly, Chris. Chris is right.
yeah,
That's what they
I
do.
sold educational books, and there was definitely a need. I was hitting up all the like, I was deep in the country out there. So, okay, that's awesome. I when I talk to you, I'm gonna tell you my favorite book stories of going to a club in uh in Wheeling, and it was so good. The whole place. I just had a magical time, and I really would love to go back out there again. They used to have Jamboree in the Hills. Were you there when they had Jamboree in the Hills? Because I heard they stopped that, and that
A
just
small
that
world. Yeah.
that broke my heart. Yeah, it is a small world, right? So good. I'm on cloud nine right now. I'm like ready to go to bed here. Alicia, what do you have going on right now? What's your plans for the next couple weeks? I know it has been canceled. I love Jamboree in the Hills. The greatest outdoor concert I ever went to was Jamboree in the Hills, Alicia. I'm gonna just tell the story now.
Fine.
I was hearing
Tell
about
your
it on the
story.
radio. Jamboree in the Hills, Lord, I love that country music. That was their theme song, right? Jamboree in the Hills, every summer in July.
I'm
It
about
was
to turn
on
my
the radio
music back
all the
on.
freaking time, all the time. And while I was on the radio like that, no joke, I heard it 100 times. Um, and so I go there. Tina's like, "That's the song." It's so sad that I had that jingle memorized from 20 years ago. Oh, dang. Oh man. And so anyways,
Is that it?
uh and I was just getting excited. And and so they run out there. So they sit there and they have this like lineup of people, right? And they're lined up, and the stage is like down the way down the hill and stuff. And then they shoot off the gun, and everybody goes running with their like coffins and like coolers of beer and their chairs and stuff, and they're running because it's like a free for all. Whoever gets the closest wins, and they get to have their spot. And then people just get there and they just start drinking. Like everybody's just getting trashed from like the moment that it starts until like the whole entire thing ends. And then you walk around while you're drinking with everybody, and everybody's got squirt guns, and you're just like walking around squirting everybody. So like you're walking around squirting all the cute girls and that kind of stuff, and they're like white tank tops and stuff and coffins. Yeah, dude, yeah, it's like NASCAR, and it's just like it was just like it was a water gun fight. This is where I got the idea I have a water gun fight from. No, it was a water gun fight and a concert and all these like big name country bands. Neil McCoy.
Neil McCoy? Yeah, big name
it was a,
90s.
it was like 2002 or something like that when this happened.
Oh, well,
So
he wasn't that old yet.
so and they had a whole bunch of like bands. I can't remember, it's the only one that I remember that was there, but whole bunch of bands and stuff, and it was a wild time. I yeah, I was so sad. I looked at it this summer or this winter, and I saw that it was gone, and now it's like, oh, my heart. But anyways, oh Daniel, dude, we're gonna have a good time, man. Send me that message and stuff. My name's written the same way on Facebook. I got a picture of me and my my armor with my girlfriend, and we were in Halloween costume. So you won't be able to miss me. And then we'll make a plan on how we can get this stuff set up. And um, I don't know. There's a lot of great stuff happening. I'm just excited to be part of all of it and be supportive. And next week, we have Jeff Miller is actually going to be on. Speak of the devil, I think he's talked about like he was
Why do I
talked
think it's
about.
Mylar?
It's well, I think it's spelled Mylar, but is
We already
well, you know
went
what?
through this before, and I don't remember.
Yes. Well, you know what? We're gonna ask Jeff again. So
Doesn't it
when he
actually
gets,
start with a J or some funky letter?
I think he's from Quebec, so it's like a French name.
Something like that.
Yeah, French Canadian. It's pretty messed up. There's a reason that he's
Okay.
not in Canada anymore because nobody should be in Canada anymore. He's
I
Canadian.
don't think
Yeah,
it's Canada.
it's Canada, Quebec.
Whatever. Whatever.
He's Canadian.
All right.
I got you, Alicia. Listen, uh, you just go and do all the stuff. I'll take care of all the details. Um,
That's what happens.
uh, next we got him on, and then we have Dr. Courtney the week after that. And then I think we're working on a couple of different people coming up afterwards. And I want to do some more focus on some Wyoming dads. And so I know we have a couple of Wyoming dads who are interested. And anybody that's kind of already gone through family court, we do want to start doing like a monthly or so, just a dad's opportunity to talk about their experience with family court, just in general. So Mylar. Hey, Jesse West, speak of the devil. Oh my gosh.
C, or
I
is
love
it
that.
Millar? Is it my?
Millar. Yeah. Millar.
I think it's Mylar.
I call him Miller, and he never says that I'm wrong, but he's so nice. He maybe too nice to like say that kind of stuff to me. Jesse, you want to be on the show in 3 weeks? Just
Yes.
say nothing, and we'll take
Just
that
say
as a yes.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, buddy. That was awesome. I was like, holy shit, Jesse's on here. That's so crazy. So I'm gonna get a hold of you tomorrow. We should get together and plan on it because I'd love to talk to you about some of the stuff you've done and everything. I think I'm gonna be bringing it back, and you were like my idol. That I was like I'm gonna be just like Jesse West when I get older, and uh, and I'm gonna do it. So
It happens.
yeah, Jesse said yes. Thanks, Scott. You're the best. I'm
Yay.
glad everybody's speaking for Jesse. I think that's a sign.
They're
So
speaking for him for sure.
yeah.
Probably.
Um, And so, anyways, uh, looking
I
forward
have
to
to
it.
I
You have to
have
say,
to go.
I have to go too. I was
It
trying
has
to
been,
an hour and 45 minutes. We've had a lot of fun actually.
yeah, it was fun.
A week, 3 weeks from now on Wednesday, you'll be in the sticks. Yeah, you will be. Um, 3 weeks from now on Wednesday, I'll call you tomorrow morning, Jesse. So have a good night, my friend. Good night to everybody else too, man. I've got some new friends today, which is really exciting, and I think we talked about a lot of great stuff. I'm looking forward to all the things that we have coming, and I think just going to help make it better and make it uh, more about the kids and building relationships and helping us to do that in a more constructive and supportive way. And I'm excited about helping bring that change. So, and I think the ideas that I
Summer.
have and that have been going to be great, and we're going to be killing it. So, Wyoming's going to lead the way. So, love to have another state come up and try to challenge Wyoming for top dogs. So, I think we're going to have
The water gun fight.
the watermelon fight. That's going to be South Dakota, and ain't
What were
no
you just
chance
talking
nobody's
about?
beating
Challenge
the
who
bike.
for the top dogs what?
The bike to school day. Good night,
Oh,
Chris.
sorry. Okay. I gotcha.
So.
All right.
And that's the next we have coming up. But we'll see you guys all next week when we talk to Jeff Miller. He is a father's rights lawyer. He was instrumental in getting the bill passed in Missouri last year, and he started a new business with one of the partners that he worked on that with, Jeremy. And they have a new lobbying business that they're working on. And I haven't heard much about it, but I'm looking forward to hearing more. So good night. Good night, guys.
Change your
Uh,
scroll. Thanks, Chris. Change that
Great show,
picture.
right? We have not done
It's
that in a
all
long time.
it's
Yeah, that's
fine.
okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.